All right, we're TWID. Here, TWID. Week in Destiny. 16th. It is the 17th at approximately 1 o'clock in the morning. Couple topics this week. Dungeon. Ability updates. And a whole bunch of stuff I literally do not care about, except maybe games to give for some charity. All right. New dungeon. Sundered doctrine. Heresy's right around the corner. New dungeon, Friday, February 7th. Mark your calendars. As of the time I am recording this, that is in approximately 3 Fridays? 3 Fridays from today. So, 3 weeks from today, we are getting a new dungeon, and we are going inside of Rolk's Pyramid Ship again. Not to be Debbie Downer here, but the interior of the Pyramid Ship aesthetics, I'm a little bit tired of. Anyway, same thing as Vesper's host. Under Doctrine will have a contest mode enabled for the first 48 hours, providing the most difficult version of the dungeon. For brave guardians who want the ultimate challenge, you will get a guaranteed exotic. There'll be a dungeon race trophy that's brand new. They're going to show us what it's going to look like, blah, 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 blah. 1995 power levels. Basically, as long as you played, leveled up to power cap 2000 in final shape, you are all set for dungeon. You don't need to grind it all in Heresy or need to go back this season. Pinnacle cap right now is 2010, so yeah, as long as you played, when final shape dropped, you should be fine. Push criteria, it's just contest mode. That's pretty much it. Follow the dungeon race, 3 people. FNF, I like FNF. Super Gray is also good. I'm gonna be running it myself. Think I can get the day off work. Anyway, there's gonna be some new emblems. It's a cool emblem. I like it. Heresy abilities update. New Arc verb charge. I'm excited. Arc is my second favorite subclass, behind Void, or at least Void Hunter. At least Arc is, generally my favorite. Void Hunter specifically is my favorite, but Arc is like as a subtype my favorite. So very excited about some new Arc abilities to start cooking with. Start with a new Arc keyword, which is featured in some of the new Arc aspects. Bolt charge. Blah 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 blah. Positive stacking buff that you build up on yourself over time. Once you reach max charge, your next ability will unleash a devastating bolt of arc lightning. While you have 1 or more stacks from any sorts, aspects, fragments, weapon perks, dealing damage with any weapon, increases your bolt charge stack count. Each time a stack is granted, you gain a chunk of melee energy. At 10 stacks, your bolt charge is ready. Any ability damage, arc or otherwise, summons a powerful arc bolt. Arc or otherwise, I'm assuming just so it can synergize with prismatic. Doing roughly the same damage as a solar ignition, with a smaller area of effect. Different, though. I'm curious as to how it'll be different. Maybe it'll chain further? I really don't know. Smaller area effect, but it can chain thermal. Anyway, solar ignition, but arc. Bolt charge is tuned to have a more consistent and predictable uptime. They did a lot of they've given Arc a lot of love in the past 2 seasons with reworking some perks on guns like full shot, pretty much completely removing it in favor for the new Arc perk. I don't even remember what the name of it is now, but similar. The addition of Frost Armor to Stasis, they're releasing. They've woven Bolt Charge into Arc and Prismatic Suites, the subclass. The new Arc aspects. Striker Titan, Stormcard Warlock feature Bolt Charge. Please refer to the balance pass. Blah 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 blah. They've had fun designing. Really don't care about this. TLDR, Ignition, Arc. I'm excited. It's going to make my Arc builds better. That's pretty much it. Just more Arc. Great. On the prowl. Night Stalkers. New Void aspect. This shit is absolutely fried. Night Stalkers, many ways to go invisibles and kick off on the prowl, including Vanishing Step, Stylus Executioner, Special Blade, Wrap, blah, 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 blah. When that happens, a nearby non-boss target will be highlighted for you and your fire team. Once a highlighted target has been defeated by you or anyone in your fire team, the entire fire team is granted a stack of successful hunt. Basically, hunters now have a form of support that stacks off of adds. A buff grants weapon reload speed and stability, along with a small chunk of melee, grenade, and ability class energy. Successful hunt can stack up to 3 times. Also, when a targeting is defeated, a cloud of weakening smoke is created that will make you and your ally that passes through invisible, thus meeting the condition for activating on the prowl again. Maybe this will synergize good with Omnioculus, but that is Omnioculus in big 2025. My. what we envisioned for this aspect was to embody what it means to be a Void Hunter. They're really justifying based off of war. I love it. To us, it's important to reflect the fantasy of bounty hunt on the prowl works well with the entire net stalker kit. Now, I could see a lot going well. I could see definitely a lot going well for this one. Even Orcs and Titans can feel it's like be bounty hunter. We'd ship a bounty hunter gun too. Curious. Storm's Keep. Cast your class ability and gain a moderate number of bolt charge stacks to nearby allies. When behind your barricade, you and your allies gain stacks of bolt charge over time, and any weapon will discharge max stacks of charge. You cast your barricade, you get bolt charge, and you shoot the boss. That's it. That's probably going to be cooking with Thunderlord. Casting Thruster or Barricade will give you and any nearby allies a good chunk of bolt charge stacks and the melee energy that comes along with bolt charge. If you opt in for the Barricade version, same about the Barricade will gain additional bolt charge stacks over time. Once you're full stacks, any weapon damage you deal while standing behind your Barricade will also cash in bolt charge, calling down a lightning bolt at your target's location. Standard bolt charge allows you to call down lightning by dealing ability damage, but with Storm's Keep, you can call down lightning just by shooting enemies well behind your barricade. This is especially potent with Rally Barricade because it allows multiple bolts from your allies to provide solid boss damage. This is a trap. This is a trap for people that are still using Thunderlord. I said it. I said it. Ionic Sentry. It's an Arc Buddy. Arc Soul was begging for a sibling. It's just a different Arc Soul. They have Arc Soul, and now they have Ionic Sentry. That's pretty much it. Stormcallers are masterful at channeling arc energy, reshaping and deploying it to cause mayhem on the battlefield. With Ionic Sentry, Stormcallers have harnessed whatever. You gain access to Ionic Sentry as a special grenade throw, similar to how Gunpowder Cannonball works for gunslingers. When it first lands in the battlefield, it blinds enemies and charges lightning between enemies. It stays on the field and it shoots enemies. It's a turret. Like any other turret, Warlocks have a lot of deployables. It's yet another deployable. I'm happy. I think of the three aspects, I'm most excited for the Warlock. I like the idea of having a Ionic turret. I don't know, I just like the idea of it. Sounds like it'd be pretty cool. Instead of only having a stasis turret, you have a arc turret now. Alright, balance changes. Tempest Strike. My Tempest Strike. New additional effect added. Killing any jolted enemy grants a stacks of bolt charge and increase damage against PvE enemies by 50%. This was absolutely useless in PvE before, so 57% increased damage is much necessary and appreciated. In killing any jolted target grants a stack of bolt charge, and I'm assuming how I wonder how this will scale for Crucible. Maybe you have to stack 10 charge. You have to get 10 stacks of bolt charge to get the detonation. Is it just one stack, or will it scale in Crucible? We'll see. Straight buff. That's it. Awesome. Disorienting Blow. Grants a moderate amount of bolt charge stacks from dealing damage. Disorienting Blow now deals significant damage during a hit around the target instead of just a single target damage. Khepri's builds are back, baby. Khepri's builds are back. 9.6 meter AoE. That's huge. Arc Staff. Reflecting attacks grant you bolt charge. Cool. They're basically just throwing bolt charge onto anything that can handle it at this point. And Ascension, increase fragment slots to 3, only on Arc, because it was already giving 3 fragment slots on Prismatic. I always thought that was a little bit weird, but it was probably just because how Prismatic had more useful fragments than Arc does. Really, I run Ascension and Tempest Strike on my Arc builds. See video here, maybe here, if I can find a second one of them. But no, I run Tempest Strike and Ascension. It's just going to be better now. Activating Ascension will activate the effects from the following abilities: Ambush Dodge, Marksman Dodge, Powering Dodge, and 30th Spectre. It was always so annoying having to choose between using Ascension as a mobility or just a tool to throw out Gifted Conviction bombs, or as a blind or a prime something. Having to choose between that or being able to use your dodge for its ability. Now being able to reload, get your melee back, get your Radiant, being able to proc Radiant at the same time as you're proccing Ascension, could be crazy. and also Threaded Spectre. I don't imagine Threaded Spectre is going to be good unless at the same time as you proc Ascension, it also breaks your dummy at the same time, which would then trigger the Threadlings to go at the same time. Does that make sense? Because to me, it just doesn't make sense to cast Ascension and then just to leave the Tangle on the ground right there. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because Ascension, most people, it does damage. Threadrunner. During Slam, activating it will now activate effects from blah blah blah, basically making it so that whenever you use your class ability as a hunter, you don't have to choose between the regular effects of the class ability and, you know, an additional effect from consuming it for another ability. And also increased PV damage resistance. Basically the same thing. Good hunter changes. Straight buffs across the board. The only way I see this as not being a buff is if the Threaded Spectre summons from both Ascension and Ensnaring Slam get in the way. I could see it being kind of sticky if they get in the way of your abilities. Moving out of Titan, Barricade. Increased damage resistance versus splash damage effects when standing behind barricades from 60 to 80, so no longer are you going to get hit by that stupid freaking Void Grenade that they throw at you that just burns. That Void Molotov cocktail that just burns on the ground. It's still going to cook you, but the combatant splash damage from that is being decreased. That is being decreased by effect of you having more damage resistance. It's better. It's just make forward but better. And also taunt strength and range no longer fall off for a time. Good. To be completely honest with you, I've rarely even noticed the taunt. To be fair, haven't played a whole hell of a lot of Destiny recently, but taunt as an effect in PvE in Destiny, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Not that it doesn't make sense, you just don't notice it when it's working. Juggernaut. While Jug Shield is active, players now have splash damage resistance. The same way that you have splash damage resistance. 60% splash damage resistance in PvE, 10% in PvP. Good. While Jug Shield is active. So basically, you're probably not going to get one-shotted by grenade launchers up front now. So that's good. While Jug Shield is active. Yeah, I'd imagine that you're not going to get one-shot by grenade launchers. And just while the Jug Shield is active, you just blanket 10% damage resistance in addition to 60% splash damage resistance. And when the Jug Shield blocks damage, players are going to stack a Bolt Charge. This makes up for the... Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I like that. You can run in with your Jug Shield. You have increased damage, increased DR. You're getting Bolt Charge if you're taking damage. Hit somebody with your Shoulder Charge, whatever. However, Pentagram Greaves. Good. Ballistic Slam. Sprint time requirement for activation significantly reduced. What do they mean by significantly? Damage now scales based on distance travels. What do they mean by distance? And damage in person PvE combatants increased by 30%. What do they mean by 30? We know what 30% means. Each enemy damaged by Ballistic Slam grants a stack of Bolt Charge. Awesome. Up to a max extent attacks. If you manage to hit 10 targets with a single activation. If you hit 10 single targets with a single activation with Ballistic Slam, I'll buy you Destiny 3. Good changes. I'd like to see the damage scaler and the sprint time requirement significantly reduced. Can mean anything. And damage scales based on distance traveled can also mean anything. Knowing Bungie. Probably going to be infinite knowing Bungie. This is probably going to infinitely scale as long as you can get infinitely high in the air. Alright, Sentinel. Increase the rate that the Unbreakable Offensive Throw charges up when blocking damage. Cool. Increase max damage dealt from the offensive throw by 20%. Awesome. Increase the health pool of the shield, making it less likely to break when under fire. I'd start clapping right now if it wasn't 1 o'clock in the morning. Increase the void over shield charge rate while holding the shield. I'd start clapping right now if it wasn't 1 o'clock in the morning. Throw now costs half of a grenade energy charge instead of a full charge. I would stand up and give a roaring round of applause if it wasn't for the fact that it was 1 o'clock in the morning. And also, while this is just awesome. The Unbreakable is useless currently. This makes it better. While Sentinel Shield is equipped, Orb of Power Creation cooldown increased 1.5 to 4.5 second. Allegedly, am I reading that right? While Sentinel Shield is equipped, Orb of Power Creation cooldown increased from 1 second to 4.5 seconds. Oh, okay. So they're buffing the shit out of it. Same time, they're saying, all right, well, you gotta wait 5 seconds to gen orbs now because it is an ability. We're nerfing the amount of orbs you can get because you're going to be using twice as many abilities that are doing 20% increased damage with more. Okay, I get it. I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, and Ward of Dawn now does a weakened pulse when the ward is created. How far is the distance of the weakened pulse? We actually, this is cool. We could see some text now. Ward of Dawn now doing a weakened pulse. This is actually really, this is my first time reading this. Actually, I'm live reacting to all this. This, for raid bosses, could cook. Templar? Any boss that requires you to actually be within 3 seconds that we usually use Tractor Cannon for debuffs. Yeah. This could cook. I'd like to see how strong the weaken is. Ideally, I think that this should be a weaken stronger than Tether. Maybe not. We'll see. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if it was as strong as Tractor Cannon, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was stronger than Tether. You know what I mean? Anyway, I was reading Twitter earlier. People were freaking out about Consecration. This is one of those things. I'm sorry for all you Soul Flawless players and all you solo players. Consecration has been too good for too long. Effectively speaking, reducing the Scorch, Wave, and Slaying damage in PvE by 55% is going to balance it so that you're going to be able to use other things. Now, it is a nerf, straight up. I know. It's not going to feel good. I have no opinion on this. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to say it's bad. All I'm going to say is I'm glad that Titans are going to be encouraged to do something else. I'm just upset that they're not buffing something else to be as strong as Consecration. However, overall power level has gotten kind of crazy, and Consecration was just by far the best thing, period. What's the point of using Drenger's Lash when Consecration exists? You know, you're hard throwing if you're not using Consecration on Prismatic Titan. Warlock. Storm Trance. Increase non-champ PvE damage by 20%. Emperor Palpatine is back. Chaos Reach. Increase it by 15%. Sure. Lightning Surge. Remove Amplified at cast. Grants a stack of Bolt Charge for each enemy hit with Lightning Surge and increase damage versus PvE combatants by 30%. Awesome. Buffs. Arc buffs all around. Voidwalker. Handheld Supernova. Chaos Accelerants. Magnetic Grenade variant, particularly the exotic perk. Increase total projectile count from 5 to 9. Basically, the shotgun. The shotgun gauntlets. Increase the width of the cone barrel for 2 meters. Awesome. Increase the height of the cone blast by 1 meter. Neat. Reduce projectile damage in PvP from 20 to 15 per projectile to count 4 additional projectiles. No, adding 4 projectiles is potentially a substantial damage increase, but due to the increased size of the cone blast, all projectiles won't land on a small target, meaning the PvC potency should remain similar, but in PvE, this becomes a much more reliable add to a single target burst damage option against larger targets. I feel that if they don't adjust the tracking on, if they don't adjust the tracking on this thing, I fear they may have just like destroyed this in PvP. It was already finicky before. We'll have to try it out and see how the tracking works. But they may have just destroyed this in PvP with these changes. Other than that, having a better option for more damage with your Void Grenade, I guess, in PvE, sure. All classes, Solar, Radiant, reduced from 25 to 20, while Radiant's unchanged. Frost Armor, DR, increased for Frost Armor from 4.5 to 6.25. Max stacks, you get 50% DR. PvE only. Great, so now competes with other forms of DR. Woven Mail, whatever. Arc, amplified. Combatants are less accurate against you. Finally, you get some dodge chance, similar to how Manticore Exotic Effect works in the air. Well, amplified players now have 15% DR against PvE combatants, so you get 50% DR on top of less accurate against you. I'd like to see in a number how accurate is less accurate, but this is something I'm sure is hard to quantify because less accurate means there's a degree of randomness, and it's hard to replicate true randomness in a video game. I say hard, I mean it is literally impossible. Barcade Charge, add an effect, picked up a negative trace against stackable charge. Awesome. Spark of Momentum, sliding over Brick. Spark of Momentum has been bad for a very long time, ever since they changed Titan, pretty much. So, sliding over Bricks grants stackable charge. That's stupid. They just added Bolt Charge to it, and nobody's using Spark of Momentum, little bro. Nobody's using Stack Momentum. Like, they could change Spark of Momentum all they want, nobody's using it. Spark of Frequency. While amplified, it gets a stack of bonus Bolt Charge from all sources, in addition to previous effect. Great. Spark of Volts finishes grant Bolt Charge, in addition to granting amplified. I rarely use Spark of Volts. Spark of Ions. Targets defeated with Bolt Charge will also make an Ionic trait, in addition to previous effect. I use Spark of Ions a lot, though. This is a good one. I mean, to be fair, it's just adding Bolt Charge to a lot of the arc effects, basically giving all of the old arc tools the arc new keyword, which is good, which is very good. Now, Prismatic, Fast to Hope can be activated by Bolt Charge. Fast to Purpose can grant a stack of Bolt Charge when Arc Super is equipped instead of granting stacks amplified. This is what I was curious about. Awesome. There are many ways to get amplified, but I'm glad to see that they're changing this to an easy way. Get Bolt Charge on orb pickup. It's not as efficient as getting amplified, but it just depends on how many orbs you can generate. Fast Sacrifice can now be activated by Bolt Charge. I'm going to be honest with you, I literally do not remember what Fast Sacrifice even does. Nifty. Modifiers, Brawn. 2 healing sources to balance the better health economy when the modifier is activated. That's it. That's all for balance changes. I'm going to make some videos soon on some new builds that I'm going to be going in with. But besides that, wait a minute. That's not it. That's not it. Here we are. We have a Season of the Wish type prologue, epilogue event. Past this prologue starts next week. As we enjoy the final weeks of Revenant, we have one final celebration. It's a prologue of sort, blah, 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 blah. If you played Riven's Wishes last year, this is going to feel familiar. You get bento tokens. We've known about this for quite a while. You can exchange these for adept weapons, and also Chatterwhite. By the way, if you can't see it, Chatterwhite's coming back into the game. Here you go. You can get alloy shards, ciphers, spoil of conquest. You can get mementos from all of the events. You get 8 tokens total if you do all of the quests, and for weapons and armor. Yeah, Cloud Strike this time. That is the exotic they're giving, Arc Exotic, Arc Thing, and they're giving adept weapons with fixed rolls, precision instrument, fragile focus. That's a great Igneous Hammer right there. That is a huge Igneous Hammer for anybody that doesn't have one. Cataphract GL3, Envious Bait and Switch. That is a huge Cataphract for anybody that doesn't have one. Envious Bait and Switch isn't as good as it used to be. Envious Arsenal is the perk now, but Envious Assassin is still a perfectly acceptable perk. This is still a perfectly acceptable grenade launcher for damage. Horsley's Adept with Kill Clip and Perpetual Motion. This said Riptide Adept earlier. That was a typo. Anyway, Horsley's Adept, Perpetual Motion, Kill Clip. Horsley's is a good gun. Horsley's is the Arc Pulse Rifle. This thing is going to cook. People are going to realize how scary this thing is once they pick it up again. A Riptide, Chill Clip, Compulsive Reloader. I'm happy. They gave us 4 good guns. If you are a free-to-play player, if you have a second account where you moonlight, you know who I'm talking to. Pick up all 4 of these. Pick up all 4 of these. 1 of each. Don't pick up Cloud Strike. Cloud Strike is really not worth it unless you're Turbo Godly Sniper. I don't even think you can use Cloud Strike. They had this problem last time with the exotic. I'm not sure you can use Cloud Strike unless you own Beyond Light still. So in a similar way where the Riven's Wishes, you couldn't enhance the Last Wish weapons, or you couldn't craft the Last Wish weapons unless you owned the Forsaken expansion, or rather the Legacy expansion. I don't think you're going to be able to use this unless you own Beyond Light. We'll see. Maybe that'll be fixed, or that's something that they kind of know about in advance. I hope somebody besides me has thought about this. And also, you could trade 2 tokens for Artifice Armor. High stat roll. I want to know what is the minimum base stat roll. Me personally, because we're going to be getting I'm sorry. The weapon refresh comes relatively soon. Armor refresh is a little bit. It's Frontier. What is the minimum? The minimum. And also, you have to turn in 5 bento tokens, which means you have to play the game. you have to play the game. It's only going to be around for 2 weeks. Do not waste time. 2 weeks. Starting next week. You have 2 weeks to get Chatterwhite. Also, Festival of the Lost. I didn't vote. I don't vote. I don't believe in democracy. Festival of the Lost. We're getting Titan Slasher. We're getting Hunter Spectre. And we are getting Warlock Spectre. We got the Slenderman skin. We're getting the Season of the Savathun ornament armor, but worse, better. I don't care about this, and I don't really mess with Friday the 13th. So Jason Voorhees means nothing to me. I'm not going to buy these. Somebody else will buy these. Oh yeah, they're also re-releasing the winner's design from last year. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Games to give. If you have money and you want to donate, go to gamesgive.com. Man, that's pretty much it. And besides that, we have some submissions. We are going to be getting a bajillion Scorn. We're going to be getting a bajillion Scorgan videos in the movie of the week from now until the end of time. Hashtag Destiny 2 Scorgan. We're going to be getting that from now until the end of time. And we're just going to have to live with it. Also, Slayer's self-damage. I thought this was a joke when I first read it, but they are LARPing to justify having a gun that produces a harmful effect to yourself when you shoot it. It is a shotgun, meaning you shoot it in close quarters, you shoot it at people near walls. There's a better than not chance that every time you shoot this gun, you are going to just hit yourself and just weaken yourself every single time. The self-damage provided a high risk, high reward. It would be fine, but you shouldn't weaken yourself. If you you're going to accidentally hit yourself while shooting this thing. It's a ricochet machine. That's the point. I don't think you should weaken yourself. Like a war justification, LARP. This isn't even a war justification. This is just a LARPing. This is just LARPing. LARPing to justify a suboptimal balancing, a suboptimal weapon decision is crazy. And some known issues. They're fixing Kel's Fall. They're fixing some Vesper's Host. They're patching some of the fun out of Vesper's Host. Major fieldwork, seasonal quests, fixing some stuff. And yeah, besides that, movie of the week, Destiny 2 community team. We're done here. It is now way past my bedtime, so I'm going to schedule this to upload. Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening to me yap for approximately 30 minutes, and thank you for watching.